Hi, this is Preachuk in conjunction with PurePharma, and we're continuing with our recovery exercises for postural balance. I'm going to show you the supine knee pillow squeeze. This is a really great exercise for balancing out the hip rotators. A lot of us have to sit all day long, and we tend to lose our muscular connection to our gluteals. But the other muscles that rotate the hip are also the inner thigh muscles. So often we have a lot of imbalances in between those two areas. One of the benefits of doing this exercise is that as you bring balance to the hip rotators by doing this, you're going to notice that your pelvis is free to begin rocking forward and back a little bit, and that has a positive effect through the rest of your spine and obviously will affect the rest of your entire body. You do need some equipment to help you set this up, and I do recommend that you use at least a 4x6x9 yoga block to help you find correct positioning. You might also need another pad for underneath your head, and I'll demonstrate that in a moment. I'm going to use a larger pillow here just to give you some contrast so that it's better on the video. Now, to set up this exercise, what you want to do is lay yourself down, but before you do that, here's where you use your yoga block. You want 6 inches apart. That's about 2 fist distance at the arch of the foot with your toes pointing straight ahead. That should then translate up to the knees. And then again, you can see that your knees and your ankles are in this nice alignment. And that then will translate to the center of, we use our ASIS, that's your hip pointers, and we use that for the reference marker to our hips. Now I'm going to switch out my block here and put this big one in. You might find you need to slide your feet in a little closer when you go to lay down, and that's perfectly fine. But I do want you to keep your feet quiet on the floor, or calm, and all toes in connection. Then you can go ahead and lay yourself down. Now this is where you might find you need an extra little bit of padding underneath your head, because if your chin is poking way up towards the ceiling and you're unable to bring it down so that your ear is lined up with your shoulder, then you can place a 1 inch or a 2 inch, even higher pad so that you can bring that alignment and soften your jaw down. Once you're in good position, I need you to then open up your shoulder into a good position by just slightly rotating, opening. You turn your thumb down to the floor and then release your hands. They're about a 45-degree angle from your hips. You could have them higher if you so chose. From here, the exercise is relatively simple. We want to engage the muscles of the inner thigh, so we think of pressing our knees inward into the pillow, and the count is what I like to use as a Mississippi count. So 1 Mississippi, and release. 2 Mississippi, and release. Now, as you go through this exercise, what's important is that you notice disparity between the two halves of your body, and that's where you're going to get the most benefit. You might notice that, for example, one side starts before the other or finishes before the other. And I don't want you to try and correct that. I need you to allow yourself to notice that. As you go through the length of the exercise, let's say 20 repetitions, you'll start to notice that the disparity starts to minimize itself. Another thing you want to be aware of is that you don't want to give up something to get something. And the way I cue that is to notice, are my hands tightening up, or is my shoulder tensing up to help my inner thigh muscles and my knees press into that. If you're starting to notice that, then you are giving up something to get something. We want to keep that demand right through the inner thigh muscles. As you go through this exercise, you'll begin to notice that the pelvis starts to rock forward and back, and the rest of the kinetic chain starts to respond. And that is, as your body improves, that's going to start to happen. I recommend that you do 3 sets of 20, but if you're short on time, 1 set of 20 certainly will work quite well. If you have any questions about this exercise, by all means, please reach out and ask, because I'm happy to help you. And if you notice any symptomatic pain, the not okay kind, then I would like you to stop doing the exercise. That's your cue that you might need a program put together by a corrective exercise specialist that's unique for your postural needs. All right, well, I appreciate that you watched today and spent some time with me. This is Preachuk at Pain Free Posture MN. Thanks for watching.